Good morning. Oh, yes, today is 9/11. Um, there's so many stuff we could talk about with 9/11 and everything, but I don't. Today is a day we should be in remembrance of those who passed, and that's it. Um, None of the other talks about, the conspiracy things or anything like that. Should be a day for remembrance of those who have passed, and that's it. With that, um, man, there's a lot to go over today. um, I'm sure a lot of people watched the show last night, the debate, and a lot of people will probably disagree with me on this, but um, that that was, I'll put it this way, that was probably Trump's not best night. Um, he did fall for a few things, um, and the the host, if you want to call them that, were one sided. Uh, they brought up a lot of stuff from the past that had nothing to do with where we're at in the country right now. Um, and anytime they asked Harris stuff, it was about the future. And like you said, it was one sided. It was, um, yeah, it was very one sided. Um, Let me bring up one of the things here, and this was demanded by Harris's Harris's team, if you want to say that. And I'm not sure if anybody even noticed, but let's go ahead and put this up here. ABC builds special mini podium for Camilla Harris since she's only 5'2". It was one of Camilla's team's demands, which is extremely smart. Now, people may look at this and it's funny and everything. This was meant for a reason. Now, if you look at it, you can tell you can see that one side is shorter than the other. And if you look at the camera angles when they showed them walking up and shaking hands and whatnot, which that right there was a sign of things to come on top of everything. But right here, you notice Harris's podium is smaller, and a lot of people will think they'll get in their heads big bad Trump against small little Harris over there. Um, Instead of being on equal planes, they demanded her podium be smaller. It's very it's very intelligent to do this, and it made it seem like Trump was the big person against the little person. And it's things like that um that little playing dirty stuff. Now, I'm not saying that things didn't go her way or everything through the whole shebang and everything, because there was a lot of lies being tossed out there. Um, anyway, before we get started, let me go ahead and greet everybody that has come in. We got Cher, we got Rebel Canners. Yep, exactly. You don't want it to be equal. You want to look like the smaller person. That way you get the sympathy votes. We got Jennifer Ocean, Southern Belle. Good to see you. TH2, Pat Evans. Let's see. I think that might be it. Bubble Bibble, Eric, and Camel Carl. Good to see everybody this morning. I really didn't think we were going to get too many people in here this morning, but anyway, let me find this window. This one. Let's open. Nope, not that one. Dang it, I hate when these things don't go up here when they're supposed to. Let's try it over here then. Okay. Share screen. There we go. Share. Okay. Now, I'm sure everybody remembers this. Can I enlarge that? There we go. Let me go ahead and play it.
Take their country back. Our country is being lost. We're a failing nation. And it happened 3.5 years ago. And what's going on here, you're going to end up in World War III, just to go into another subject. What they have done to our country by allowing these millions and millions of people to come into our country, and look at what's happening to the towns all over the United States. And a lot of towns don't want to talk. It's not going to be Aurora or Springfield. A lot of towns don't want to talk about it because they're so embarrassed by it. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country. And it's a shame. As far as rallies are concerned, as far as the reason they go is they like what I say. They want to bring our country back. They want to make America great again. It's a very simple phrase.
It's low audio on this. Sorry.
She's destroying this country. And if she becomes president, this country doesn't have a chance of success. Not only success, we'll end up being Venezuela on steroids.
I just want to clarify.
Now, right here, he's a host. He's not supposed to be checking anything. The host speaks up. Listen to this.
I hear you bring up Springfield, Ohio, and ABC News did reach out to the city manager there. He told us there have been no credible reports of specific claims of pets being harmed, injured, or abused by individuals within the immigrant community. All this.
Lies, lies, lies. This is from the host. What he said is a lie, and I have proof. I have proof on it. So let me go ahead and stop that here. Oops. Let me close that. Here we go. Let me go ahead and share this. And I knew it was a lie. I'm in Ohio. I know people in Springfield that tell me this stuff. Right here. These right here are police reports. A lot of the stuff is blurted out and everything, all that stuff. But this is about, and this is records. Now, what I'm else I'm going to go ahead and show you, and this is the conversation and whatnot. And when they say, when that host is saying right there where he shouldn't been talking in the first place, it's not up to him to fact check anything. They're only there to ask questions and push the little button and tell people, oh, your minute is up. You have to stop talking. That's all they're supposed to be doing. Let me go ahead and bring up, and I've actually dug and found this. This is the actual call. So hopefully, let me make sure it's turned up.
Clark County Communications.
Yes, ma'am. I got a question. This is a non-emergency line, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I'm sitting here. I'm riding on the trail going to my orientation for my job today, and I see a group of Haitian people. There was about 4 of them. They all had geese in their hand. They got away. I couldn't make out the first 3 of the license plate, but I got the numbers. The last numbers was 9898, and it was a gray Toyota Tacoma they took off on. There was about 4 of them. There was 2 men, 2 women. I couldn't tell the age because I'm in a hurry going to this orientation, so I don't be late.
What direction did they go?
They went up towards the middle of downtown.
Okay, and what path are you on?
Right now, hold on just a second. I'm coming to the intersection of. Give me a second here. It says Water and Warder Street.
Water and Warder. Is that the area
Yes,
you saw them?
Yes. It was about 2 minutes back behind me. I was trying to get my phone out and trying to make it to this orientation on time. I'm time crunching here. And I saw that. I'm like, yeah, this has got to be reported.
So how many geese did they have?
They each had 1. Now, the Toyota Tacoma did look like a newer model.
And what's your name, sir?
My name is. It's hot out here today.
I'm sorry, what's your last name again? Your phone number is that? Okay, we will put this out to our cars and see if we can't find them. Thank you so much for calling in.
You're welcome. And if I happen to see them again, I'll try to give you a call back and get a better license plate for you.
Clark County Communications.
And if you're wondering what's the big deal about the geese, well, the geese in Ohio that they're referring to are protected, federally protected. It's even if I was out in the woods and seen one, you're not allowed to touch them. They're federal, they're protected. I don't know what kind of geese they are, but everybody knows that they're protected. Let me see if this other thing. Yes, there are tons of memes going on with Trump saving cats and geese right now. Let me see if I can find that. There's another one here that they ask. Yeah, I can't find it. Yeah, I can't find it now. Dang it. But there's another section where Sharon Brown, that's what I call him, Sharon Brown, where they ask about the cats and the all that stuff, and he doesn't answer a question, which is very annoying. I mean, just say something. Well, I don't. They never say anything, or you ask a politician a yes or no question, and it's their life story or something comes out of them. But yeah, and this is the thing that throughout the whole thing that irritated me the most. during the whole thing last night. And I don't know if anybody caught it themselves or whatnot, but
Donald Trump left us the worst attack on our democracy since the Civil War.
this was last night. Knowing what today is 9/11. What does that mean? She dismisses all that. To me, today is the worst thing in our country that's happened to this country is 9/11. And to dismiss that on the day before is, it's just ridiculous.
And what Donald Trump left us the worst attack on our democracy since the Civil War. And
nobody's saying anything about it, Anyway, there's this right here where she is also talking about the Haitians that were brought into this country and whatnot. Clearly admits everything.
That is why also, starting with our administration, we gave TPS, temporary protected status, to Haitian migrants, 55,000. And then more recently, we extended temporary protected status to over 100,000 Haitian migrants for that very reason, that they need support, they need protection.
They need support. They need protection. What about the citizens of your own country that you're supposed to be running for? Yeah. Very irritating. And it's well over 100,000, by the way. There's way over 100,000, and that's just Haitians that's been brought into this country. And when asked about taking people's guns and all this stuff, yeah, she said, "Oh, me and Tampon Tim, we own guns ourselves. We're not taking guns away. No, we're not doing that. What are you talking about? No, we never said that."
What would you do about the millions of specifically assault weapons that are already in circulation? What do you do about those?
Well, there are approximately 5 million, to your point, Craig. We have to have a buyback program, and I support a mandatory buyback program. It's got to be smart. We got to do it the right way.
What would you do about the millions of specifically assault weapons that are already in circulation? What do you do about those?
Well, there are approximately 5 million, to your point, Craig. We have to have a buyback program, and
Yeah, got to have that buyback. Yeah. Sure you do. Yep. She admitted it. And I'll give you another one. And you might think, oh, well, that one was doctored up. She didn't really say that. No.
I support buybacks, and I think that, look, we have 5 million assault weapons on the streets of America, and we have 5 million assault weapons on the streets of America. And assault weapons have been designed to kill a lot of human beings quickly. They are weapons of war, and there is no place for them on a civil society, on the streets of a civil society. And it's something I'm so passionate about and so looking forward to being president to address. We've got to deal with this.
How
What? Again, said it right there. I bet you we go down through here, we'll probably find more of what she's.
Adding to your gun control agenda? Yeah, I think it's a great idea. But I mean, listen, I don't think we lack for great ideas. As I've said many times, we've been having great ideas for decades. The problem is that Congress has not had the courage to act. And that is why, from the beginning, I have said my agenda includes attempting to get Congress to act, but if they don't within the first 100 days of my administration, I'm going to take executive action. Because what we need is action.
Take the Second Amendment. Again, another lie that she said. Yeah, what? Might as well. Let's have another one.
Do you believe in the mandatory buyback of quote unquote assault weapons? And whether or not you do, how does that idea not go against fundamentally the Second Amendment?
Yeah. Great question. I do believe that we need to do buybacks.
Do you believe in the mandatory buyback of quote unquote assault weapons? And whether or not you do?
Yeah, another one. Yeah. And they, you know, she mentions to on the debate, oh, you're going to hear a lot of lies from him, and the guy over here, you're going to hear a lot of lies, and the majority of the lies came from her. And I'm not saying, you know, Trump didn't stretch the truth here and there or exaggerate a little bit or whatnot, but to me, Trump was basically screwed from the moment he walked up on that stage. She already had every one of the questions down on that piece of paper, already sitting there. And she was checking off things. You could see where she was writing things down. She already had every one of the questions ahead of time. All these questions were not supposed to be divulged to either party. Yeah. And you know, another thing that was brought up was, you know, the fracking thing.
I made that very clear in 2020. I will not ban fracking. There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking.
Finally putting an end to fracking once and for all.
What is the solution for voters in the fossil fuel industry?
Giving the workers an ability to transition.
And they will have the intensive training to make the transition.
Coal miners.
Yes.
Oil field workers.
Yep.
Auto workers. Farmers.
Let's transition those folks.
If someone loses their job because of actions we take on climate change, that we try to get them a job.
Climate change again. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. The earpieces that's a normal thing. When anytime any of the people up in the government are going to be speaking in front of the press and stuff, they have earpieces in so that they can tell them things and all that good stuff. Some it used to be you could actually hear the clicks in the mic when somebody was talking on the microphones in their ears. Used to be that way. Now it's got so big. Now, you're not going to see the earpieces in the ears. They're so far in the ear that you can't see them. They actually pull them out with tweezers nowadays. But here's another good one here. Bring that up.
I think we're going to do very well.
Oh,
You talk about a threat to democracy. He got 14 million votes and they threw him out of office. And you know what? I'll give you a little secret. He hates her. He can't stand her. But
Mr.
he
President.
got 14 million votes. They threw him out. She got 0 votes. And when she ran, she was the first one to leave because she failed. And now she's running. I don't understand it, but
Mr.
I'm
President,
okay with it
Mr.
because
President, your time is
I
up.
think we're
Thank
going to
you.
do very well.
We've got a lot more.
you noticed how the host, again, I don't know what you want to call him, but the host kept telling Trump that he was going over the limit. I actually had a stopwatch for a lot of parts of watching this. And I have to apologize to 101 last night. He was playing it, but the audio was so bad that I just muted him and watched it on TV. But a lot of times he wasn't even to his minute, and they were telling him, "Oh, you're running over," and she ran over. She ran almost two and a half minutes at one time talking, and nobody said anything. And unfortunately, Trump didn't say anything either. I think Trump was just way too nice last night. He had his moments though. He did have his moments. And this being one of them. And this being this one right here, I love this one. Oh, make sure I add it there. Dang it! Why is he always up there?
And policies like they have. I don't say her because she has no policy. Everything that she believed 3 years ago and 4 years ago is out the window. She's going to my philosophy now. In fact, I was going to send her a MAGA hat. She's gone to my philosophy. But if she ever got elected, she'd change it. And policies like they have. I don't say her because she has no policy. Everything that she believed 3 years ago and 4 years ago is out the window. She's going to my philosophy now. In fact, I was going to send her a MAGA hat. She's gone to my philosophy. But if she ever got elected, she'd change it.
I love that. And believe it or not, I actually studied. And Trump, I couldn't tell because Trump, he didn't look. He looked over at her direction maybe 1 or 2 times. The majority of the time, he looked straight ahead and didn't pay her no mind. What she did was the opposite. If you'd have paid attention to when Biden debate with Biden, Biden just looked off into the distance and didn't, he wasn't there basically. So she did the opposite. She stared at him every time she talked. She stared directly at him instead of looking into the camera. And when she's doing this, I actually got my stopwatch and was looking at her pulse of her neck. I know that's weird, but I was kind of curious how calm she was or whatnot. Her pulse was over 120 beats per minute, sometimes 140. So she was shaking quite a bit. And if you paid attention to the beginning of it, she had what they call cotton mouth. She was smacking her lips and everything. She was extremely nervous. Trump, he was pretty calm through the whole thing. Toward the end, he started getting the sweaty lip and everything, but I would say his ending remarks was way better than hers. Way better. And we go to the Israel thing. Let's see here. Add that.
But when she mentions about Israel, all of a sudden, she hates Israel. She wouldn't even meet with Netanyahu when he went to Congress to make a very important speech. She refused to be there because she was at a sorority party of hers. She wanted to go to the sorority party. She hates Israel. If she's president, I believe that Israel will not exist within 2 years from now. And I've been pretty good
Writing this stuff down. Even though she didn't talk about it, but she did a lot of writing down. And all, like I said, she knew these questions ahead of time. She knew them, what was going to be asked. She had all this stuff written down of what to say if he said this, what to say if he said that. And also the little tidbits that she did, like the rallies. And unfortunately he fell for that. You know, Trump, he said, oh, nobody wants to go to your rallies, that they leave early and stuff. He knew that would trigger him and get him off the subject of what subject he was on. And unfortunately, Trump did fall for that. But he did have a good comeback for that. Like, oh, she has to bus in people to go to her rallies. I don't have to do that, you know. That was good, but the fact that she got him off that subject of the border. Anytime there was a subject that they wanted to steer him away from, she baited him. Unfortunately, he fell for that a few times. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, but that's right there. That's telling me that she or people in her party had this all planned out ahead of time. They had the questions, they had the replies, all that stuff.
bit of predictions, and I hope I'm wrong about that one. She hates Israel. At the same time, in her own way, she hates the Arab population because the whole place is going to get blown up. Arabs, Jewish people, Israel will be gone. It would have never happened. Iran was broke under Donald Trump. Now Iran has $300 billion because they took off all the sanctions that I had. Iran had no money for Hamas or Hezbollah or any of the 28 different spheres of terror. And they are spheres of terror, horrible terror. They had no money. It was a big story, and you know it. You covered it very well, actually. They had no money for terror. They were broke. Now they're a rich nation. And now what they're doing is they're spreading that money around. Look at what's happening with the Houthis and Yemen. Look at what's going on in the Middle East. This would have never happened. I will get that settled and fast, and I'll get the war with Ukraine and Russia ended. If I'm president-elect, I'll get it done before even becoming president.
Yeah. I don't like the part in there where he talks about Israel will be blown off the map type thing, because if you follow the Bible and stuff, Israel's protected. Not saying they won't be attacked or anything, but yeah. Oh, let's kind of jump off of that here for a minute here. Yeah, this goes back to the thing with Trump's assassination attempt. And I'm just going to go ahead and play the video here.
The attempt to end my husband's life was a horrible, distressing experience. Now, the silence around it feels heavy. I can't help but wonder, why didn't law enforcement officials arrest the shooter before the speech? There is definitely more to this story, and we need to uncover the truth.
Yeah, I mean, it's not very big thing or anything, but the fact that she's speaking out, and she's pretty quiet, you know. She don't like the spotlight or anything, but I thought that spoke a lot right there. She wants to know, and I think there's a lot of people out there that want to know the same thing. Who's involved in this, you know? And I know there's going to be the patsy or the scapegoat thing. Yeah. And everybody's wondering where's Biden?
I'm going up to my granddaughter's birthday in New York. Then we're going to watch the debate. And then tomorrow I'm doing 9/11. I spoke to the vice president. She seems calm, cool, and collected. I think she's going to do great. And I'm not going to tell you what advice I gave.
I'm doing 9/11. What is it, a picnic or something? Oh. There's not much you can say about this. And the fact that he said he's given Harris advice on the debate. What advice would that be? I wonder. Yeah, I thought that was really interesting there. Hey, Chicken Noodle. Okay. And just yeah, Harris again. Yeah, I have to put this here. We all know how Harris got into politics.
Find women.
Are you his daughter?
Are you his daughter?
No, I'm not.
And fast cars.
And talking about old Willie Brown.
You should from now on address me as.
And there she is. It's pretty bad when the reporters are you his daughter? No. Yeah. What else we got? Yeah, and I kind of waiting on putting this thing out here a little bit because want to get it toward the end of the live here. But yeah, you remember last night when the abortion thing came up, when they were talking about when the baby was deleted. Sometimes when they do the procedure, the baby's laying on the table and they decide to let it just be deleted. Yeah. Anyways, under government Tim Walls, babies born alive in botched, I'm just going to go ahead and say it, botched abortions left to die. Then he removed reporting requirements. So when this happens, the people doing this procedure are not allowed to report it. So they're not allowed to report if said baby lived for 12 minutes being left on the table or left in the bucket or whatever. I know it's really hard subject to talk about, but this is when the host speaks up and says, "Oh, there's no state that allows this." It's being done in multiple states. Yeah, stuff like this is really hard to talk about. And let's go to Virginia.
If a mother is in labor, I can tell you exactly what would happen. The infant would be delivered. The infant would be kept comfortable. The infant would be resuscitated if that's what the mother and the family desired. And then a discussion would ensue between the physicians and the mother. So I think this was, if a mother is in labor, I can tell you exactly.
You know how, if so, the baby would be resuscitated if the mother and doctor agree on it. How does this happen? You know, and it has nothing to do with, I'm sorry, but it has nothing to do with woman's rights. That when there's another life involved. And the fact that, you know, it was being told that, oh, he's going to make it, he's happy in this, that he had this decision. And he said, I gave the options or the law to the states where it should be. It's up to the states. He has no control over it. After it goes to the state, it is not the government's position to make sure who has the right to, you know, delete babies or don't delete them. This goes to the state, which it should be. This is how the country was supposed to have been run. Each state governs their own state. That's the United States. Let's see what else can we get to. Oh yeah, this one's kind of interesting. Go ahead and it's. I really hate talking about the subject because it just turns my stomach that it's in politics. It shouldn't be a political thing.
But I do want to ask you about this CNN report. It shows Harris voiced support for cutting funding for ICE and for using taxpayer money to fund transgender surgery for detained migrants in 2019. Does the vice president still support those positions? And do you expect her to address them tonight?
Okay. You would think, oh, okay, I'll answer this. But
listen, I think, you know, these old questionnaires are a complete distraction from the task at hand right now. I think the vice president, and frankly, what the American people are actually asking about, right? What the American people are concerned about and what they're asking about is who's going to solve for border security.
But
again, that wasn't the question that was asked. And it's amazing how these questions get, somebody will ask these questions and it's not addressed. And reporters say, and don't say nothing about it. If it was me, I would have said, wait a minute, answer the dang question. You're up here giving an interview. Answer the question I give you. If not, then why are you here? And then I would go on doing another report or something. Why do reporters just, if somebody doesn't answer the question, they just move on or politely don't say anything? It's very, very irritating. What else we got? Clear in present danger. U.S. police are giving new UFO handbooks. Yes, this just came out. Police officers across the U.S. have been issued a handbook on how to deal with reports of unidentified UA, whatever they call them now. UAP, I think. Yeah. The guidelines, which detail several past encounters, were sent out early this summer by the Major Cities Chief Association, which represents police executives from the largest cities in the United States and in Canada. It's a 11-page guide, and yeah, I'll see if I can share this real quick. I don't know if it'll share. Oh, yep, it does. And this is the actual thing right here. And it's pretty interesting. And again, there's 11 pages of this booklet, and it's all kinds of good information in it. And I'll go ahead and drop the link if anybody wants to actually get into reading this, but there it is there. Yeah, it's like I said, it's real interesting. Right before, election time comes up, this pops up also. So yeah, it's just something I thought was interesting. I would bring out there for you guys to sink your teeth into. What else was there? Biden, Harris, well, when Trump was in office with the issues with Iran, Obama made it so that they would get money, and they paid them millions and millions and millions of dollars over the years, and they were supposed to get so much money every year for their agreement, whatever their agreement was, not to be bad people or something like that. I don't know. But one of the stipulations in this was they were not allowed to sell their missiles or anything like this. Well, when Trump was in office, he said, and he took that money away. He didn't give them any more money, which made them very poor. They didn't have money to keep up their bills and all that kind of stuff for building these missiles and stuff. So that took care of that problem. Well, Biden got in office, boom, there goes that money back over to Iran, and woof, they're rich again, and they're building these missiles. All this stuff starts up again. And these are the people who, We love Israel. We support Israel. And who is Iran attacking? Israel. Now, not only that is, it has been proven that Iran is sending missiles to Russia. That voids that agreement that they had put in place. And it's proven. They've got satellite images of this. You can go out on Twitter now, and there's plenty of images of this delivery. And the fact that they're doing this and nothing's being done. You know, this should be a big thing. This should be all over the news that Israel or Iran is giving missiles to Russia. They went over on the boat and everything. They've got images. They tracked it, the whole 9 yards, and nothing is being said. Nothing is being done. Where is Biden and Harris during this? Nothing. The giving missiles to another country, which they're not supposed to do. Speaking of Israel, and there are parts in this video that I will skip because it's not good. I'll just leave it at that. And if you see me skip the parts of this video, I'll retweet it or something so you can go and watch it later if that's what you want to do. But yeah, everybody knows. Well, when these 6 hostages were found, it was said that Israel is the one that deleted these hostages at the first reports, that it was bombs or a missile or rocket or whatever. And then it was said, oh, Israel shot them themselves on accident. Well, it's been proven that's not true. It is the Hamas people that actually done it. And here you'll see, I'll just play it.
In the next couple of minutes, we're going to go down into the tunnel shaft 20 meters below where the hostages were murdered. The tunnel shaft was in a children's room, in a house. Those are the walls of this children's room with Snow White and Mickey Mouse on the wall, and a tunnel shaft where hostages were murdered downstairs, 20 meters below the ground. Hamas used those letters in the tunnel, and there was a hiding floor. All he needed to do is to break the floor and then go out through the children's room, inside to the street, and go back into the tunnel. This is how Hamas built this tunnel.
The shaft goes down about 20 meters into the ground, using 4 separate letters. There, it connects to a narrow tunnel with no rooms that is so low you can't stand up straight in it. The tunnel is about 120 meters long and ends in a blocked iron door. This short blocked part of the tunnel is where the hostages were held and murdered.
We know that between 2 to 6 terrorists were here with the hostages. We are gathering all the stuff here for forensics, for intelligence. We can see magazines, an AK-47 magazine, chargers, all by used by the terrorists, Quran books, a hairbrush. We need to check who used it. But there were women here in the tunnel. This is their blood. This is the blood of Hirsch, Eden, Carmel, Ori, Almog, and Alex. They were heroes. And they were here in this tunnel for weeks or days, we will find out. But they were here in this tunnel in horrific conditions.
Yeah, I'm going to stop it right there because it does get pretty bad toward the end of the video and everything. Yeah. And anytime you hear, Biden or Harris say that, oh, they need to stop hurting civilians and this and that and the other thing. These are bad people that are building these things under civilian houses and stuff. How else are they supposed to try to get these hostages back? Knock on the door and ask them kindly, can we come in and go under your house into these illegal tunnels? Yeah, it's ridiculous. And the thing of it is, most of the people in Gaza support Hamas. And the fact that, and I've said this so many times, the whole, get our hostages and stuff, that's what they're doing. They're over there looking for the hostages if they're still alive. I'm sure they are some of them still alive, but the fact that Hamas themselves, they don't want no ceasefire. This is their holy war, or whatever you want to call it, that they're doing. The same with the other countries that are surrounding this, that are constantly shooting rockets into Israel. Nobody's saying anything about that. Yeah, it's sad. But anyways, let me go ahead. We're sitting at the top of the hour, and I'm going to go ahead and get our next video ready to go here. And this is what is it that she made? Tangy cranberry banana coffee crumble. That's a mouthful. But let me go ahead and put her link in the chat here. Kind of take it easy from all the talk that we were just doing.
Don't have friends,
And
so
listen
I
to
don't think
her
it's that big of a deal. So I think I'm just going to add a
make
little
this yummy
extra
stuff.
cinnamon to it. So to this, we are going to add, remember, I'm doubling this. This is going to be 4 cups of flour. 2, there's 3.
She has a great channel. She has a lot of good
There's 4.
recipes.
And then I'm going to add my baking powder. That is 2 teaspoons, but because I am doubling it, we need to add 4 teaspoons. I pray this is baking powder, not baking soda.
Yeah, I've done that before.
2.
Put the wrong baking powder.
I need to do better about labeling those 2. I tend to not label it going, oh, I know what it is. And then, yeah. And then you end up using the wrong thing. And then with the cinnamon, it calls for, oh my goodness, what does that call for?
Because you got baking powder.
I think it's like a half a teaspoon.
Bacon's you have too many powders. Too many that start with bacon.
So it's 1 teaspoon of ground
Baking
cinnamon, and
soda,
we are going to put in
bacon
a
starch,
little more than
and
2 because
baking
remember I
powder.
don't have the,
Yeah,
whoops, I don't have the allspice. So
allspice.
I think you're still going to get, so I did about 2.5 teaspoons. I still think you're going to get the same consistency if you had the allspice in it. So I don't worry too much about that. And I need salt. And to that, I need a quarter teaspoon of salt. Which is equivalent to a half a teaspoon of salt because I am doubling it. And I got everything together, and now we are just going to whisk this together by hand with the whisk. Get all that nice and
The
combined
whisker.
in. You can see that I've got it all combined in. So we're going to now set this aside. And then to that, I am going to take room temperature butter. You need to have your butter soft. And it is going to be
Real butter.
a half a cup, which is equivalent to 1 stick. And again, I am doubling this, so I'm going to use 2 sticks of butter. That doesn't want to come off of there. And to the butter, we are going to add our sugar. And that is going to be the original recipe calls for a half a cup of sugar. I'm going to do an actual cup. Because remember, I'm doubling it. We're going to add that in with our softened butter. And to that, we are actually going to cream this together for 5 to 7 minutes. And I will bring you back when it's done. All right, friends, so the recipe calls for cranberry sauce, and I don't have cranberry sauce. So what I'm going to actually do is I've got my cranberries here. I'm going to cook them down, and I'm going to add a little bit of orange juice. I don't know, maybe
I like
like
putting pineapple juice with my cranberries.
and I'm going to just bring that all together, and it will create its own juice as I let it sit there and just kind of
Making cranberry
come
sauce.
together on its own. And while that is cooking, whoa, my drawer got stuck. And while this is cooking, I am ready to move on to the next steps of the recipe. So let me just read them again because I want to make sure that I got what I know.
Zoom
what I'm
ahead
doing.
a little bit.
I think the 9x13. I may just use one and then cut it in half and freeze part of it. So there we go. So to that, once all that is combined, I have my bananas over here.
Mushy bananas.
And I was smashing them down because it calls for, they're still slightly frozen.
Slightly
Friends,
frozen.
don't worry if your bananas are brown. That is one of the signs of just, they're really sweet. They've been in the freezer. They came to me going bad and I stuck them in the freezer. So I'm going to smash these down. And then we're going to get ready to add the rest of our ingredients to this dry mixture here. All right, so to this mixture, we are going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla. This is my homemade vanilla here. I don't really measure, I just kind of 1, 2, kind of like that. And then we're going to beat the eggs.
Fresh vanilla smells so good.
And the eggs are at room temperature, and you're going to add 1 at a time for the best. Always use room temperature eggs, and
Let's
always
zoom ahead
add
a little
1
bit.
egg at a time. It is much. I do hope this
Time for
tastes
the
good
bananas to go in.
because I doubled it. So I was thinking maybe doing just one dish. I will tell you this off camera. I think I'm just gonna.
You need a bigger
know.
spoon. A little spoon.
All right, friends. So I got it in. I actually put everything in one pan. I'll just cook it a little bit longer because this pan is so much bigger. I feel like this is bigger than a 9x13. So, yeah, I did wet my hands to come in here and like press it all down. So it is done. I'm trying to get it as even as possible. So now that, I wanted to tell you before I moved on, was that let me wash my hands.
Here. This is where she puts
And
the
then now what you do here
cranberries on top.
is you just drizzle however you want over here on top of your batter. I mean, I love cranberries, so.
Oh, I bet you that smells really good.
Double this up. Like I said, I'll leave the recipe in the description box below. So let that just kind of all soak in. Take it and just crumble it, sprinkle it on top.
And this is a
and this
crumble part.
And we are going to bake this in the oven that I have had preheated at 350 degrees, 50 degrees, and it's going to take anywhere between 40 and 50 minutes. I will check it because I did put all this in one pan, so mine will probably take a little bit longer.
Here comes the finished product.
Bring you down to show you what this. I mean, it just looks so good, friends.
Oh.
Look at that. Banana cranberry coffee cake. My husband thinks it smells delicious. I just hope that, quite honestly, that it's baked all the way through because I doubled it and I left it in there for quite a while.
Oh, that looks good.
Perfectly baked.
And there you go. That's the Tangy Cranberry Banana Coffee Cake. There you go. Ooh, now everybody's hungry. Okay. Now for the end of the Bible verse for today. Let me go ahead and put that up there. And yes, I'm going to keep that on the end of the show. Even though I had to move all my Prepping Your Soul and stuff to another channel. For those who don't know, please go to the new channel, Prepping Your Soul, because I had to move it off this channel because they weren't allowing advertisers to, or even my videos to go out. So something I had to do, and figured Prepping Your Soul needed to be on its own platform anyway. So, yeah. So anyways, let me go ahead and add this, the verse of the day, and it's 2 Corinthians 9:11. Yes, for today, 9:11. You will be made rich in every way so that you can be generous on every occasion. And through us, your generosity will result in thanksgiving to God. And that is the verse for today. And with that, I want to wish you guys all the best. I do have a live tonight on the Bushcrafty channel at 8 o'clock. So if you want, not busy or anything, come by there and watch the live. I have a very good guest there tonight, so hopefully I'll see you there. And with that being said, hope everybody has a blessed day, and we will catch you later. God bless.